and working on this for a 2-year time period. And again, to come out 6 days before it and tell the people that, you've already decided what your vote's gonna be.
So can you go back or not?
Well, I negotiated the best deal there. I mean, there's no more money to get. I mean, if they can, there's no more money. There's no more issues to get. If it's an issue of sales tax, if it's an issue of the cap, those are out beyond me. I mean, again, tell them, go to the Congress. Tell them to once and for all, take action, introduce legislation to cap land and trust. Go to the governor and the state legislature and say, address the sales tax, which was designed to do in this agreement. And again, if you don't like the agreement, and I said this to the board, and I said this to others, and I've said it to the people, I've been out, the interesting thing is I've spent the last 12 days with various groups throughout this county, citizens groups, chambers, business groups. Some like it, some don't, but I've listened to all of them, and I've presented it to all of them. The one group I haven't presented it to was this, and again, this group, which I offered to do, or to go through it with them.
Are you saying that if this is voted down, that the county negotiations aren't the way that will be settled going forward?
I don't know what, again, this all happened to me today in terms of, not understanding that, I thought I had some days left to, work on legislators and to make a case, even to those that oppose. I mean, look, I've never shied away from talking to anybody about this. And, the issue is, I negotiated a deal in good faith. If, the board, before even, vetting it that way, sees that it's not a good deal, then I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they should, if we should go forward. I mean, I've got to talk to the Oneidas as well. I mean, I think that there's issues. We thought that this process, still had time to move.
Tony, the Oneidas issued a statement a couple hours ago that the subtext of the text was that this deal was pretty much dead.
Well,
I
go ahead.
mean, when I read that statement, and I know a couple other people in the office, it seemed like that this would be something that you already talked to them about. I mean, they clearly knew, and you just said that you would have to talk to them.
Well, I would. I mean, yes, I did talk to them. I talked to them about what the next steps. I mean, I haven't withdrawn this plan. If that's kind of where this other piece has gone. I mean, the Oneidas. I mean, look, and everybody can count. In terms of votes, as Jeff said, I mean, everybody can count what's out there. There's 15 Republicans. So, I mean, and I know there's a Democrat legislator in the room, but with the 14, I mean, everybody can figure it out, that's the majority. My point to that is, again, that's me talking right now. The Oneidas feel also, we both came together to negotiate a deal that we felt was in each other's best interest. While not perfect, it was a deal that we struck. So there wasn't, it wasn't sent down the hall, and I say this clearly, and I've said it all along, I didn't send it down to get defeated. I didn't send it down with the intent that it was going to get defeated, or with the idea that it was going to get defeated. I had several conversations with legislators about the concepts of this and about things over time, not the specifics. And again, in talking to them, it's unfortunate that those that bang the table the loudest get hurt in this argument. And I am afraid that that's what happened here. But I also think that the vast majority of the public would like to see this plan move forward and would like to see a resolve. And I don't think they're listening. I mean, there's 5 different polls by media outlets that have talked about the positiveness here. Yet I have a group of legislators, these Republicans, who come out and say, well, there's issues with it. But they haven't sent anything to me. That's the other piece. When you ask about what to do with the plan, they haven't sent anything.
Point when, you have the two parties, the only two parties that you respond to are coming out and saying this is a bad plan. Like, isn't there a point where you might look at it and think, well, hey, you know what? Maybe something in here isn't right. I wish I could have done this differently. Like, it just.
Look, I understand what you're saying, but I have a role too. And I have a role in terms of negotiations for this county, and not just the Oneidas, but on other issues. And I guess the question then comes, what does that say to everybody else? When I sit down at the bargaining table, negotiate a contract, and a week before a vote is scheduled, long before this is aired the proper way, and the government process has taken its course, that I throw out my hands and go back and say, well, you know what, I negotiated it, but I gotta come back and do it again. I think that's a bad precedent to set. And I think it's not even, I even offered to legislators to meet with me and Mr. Halberter on the Republican side, to which there's no votes.
One of the major issues they seem to be having with it is a continuing revenue stream. Does that seem like it's a pipe dream to you? Does it seem like it's something that can be done?
If, you know, I mean, but the question is never, you know, I've talked to a couple legislators about that have come in. And we've talked about, I mean, those concerns. I mean, if I could have gotten that as a part of this agreement, then it would have been in there. I mean, to think that I tried to sell this county short, you know, by not having that in is ridiculous. I mean, $55 million, the end to litigation, taxes paid on parcels going forward, a 5-year moratorium on trust, taxes going forward on new parcels. You know, the end to litigation, millions of dollars. I mean, I think that's a very good agreement. I still stand by it. And to say that I didn't get, I mean, if they want every piece here, again, these issues that are all over the place. I don't know one specific area. I mean, what it looks like to me is that they've chosen to continue the course of litigation, which I really fear. I fear for this community in the next several years if this doesn't get resolved in that regard. I fear that this divide is going to continue, and it does continue because of the bias that exists. And that's what I'm concerned about. And that's, as county executive, why I chose to move this forward.
Are you worried about what this is gonna do to like the county's relationship? I mean, forget negotiations, that
Well-
might not even happen, but the relationship.
Well,
with
I think the plan is more about, and I said that, and then I got criticized for that. I've been called a lot of names through this. Let's be real honest. I said that all I looked at was the money, you know, and I was referred to by one legislator as an addict, and I won't even acknowledge those comments. Yeah, you know, I mean, that money was the root of this plan. Money's not about the plan. I mean, of course, we're in government. We look at revenues. We look at ways to grow the county. It is about a partnership. It is about a relationship. And there wasn't a relationship when I got here. There wasn't a discussion. There weren't the leader of the county and the leader of the Oneida Nation, the largest employer in the county, at the table. There wasn't existed. We've been together. We've negotiated together at the table. We've made appearances together, which has never taken place here. And again, is that historic? Well, some might say it is. Some might laugh at it, and that's fine. But those are the ones that choose not to move forward. I mean, it's no different than meeting, you know, I mean, with the head of a large corporation that we meet with every day in this county. And to say that it's just about that, all I'm, you know, thinking about is the dollars and cents. It is about. I am concerned about the relationship, and that was the biggest part of this plan, was about moving us forward in a positive way. But the comments that continue to flow, and the issues that continue to flow in terms of of those who bang the loudest, as I said, bang the table the loudest, and not the vast majority of the public. I'm sorry that the silent majority hasn't come out, you know, the way they do in other areas, to tell the legislators at least to take a better look at it. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond the process, you know.